up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Tonight I'm going to tell you guys a story of something that happened from my early years. Let's say my teenage years. I think I was 18 when this happened. I really haven't discussed it on any platform before because it is just like a private thing, but I really think that these are things that we do need to talk about just because there is so much domestic violence going on now. And whenever I think of this family, I always think, like, what could have happened that night? And you guys will understand that as I tell the story. So, just for logistics and for legal reasons, I'm going to refer to the wife as CC, and I will refer to the husband as John, okay? So, just to protect the family. The kids are now grown up, but I still to protect them. So, when I was probably like 15 years old, I was introduced to this family that my biological dad worked with, the husband or the dad. And we would do like everything together. Like, we were so close with this family. We would go swimming, we would grill out, we would do everything with, like, we were so close with this family. Like, we always spent, there is a dog barking in our neighborhood. We would spend summers together. Like, we were always doing something with this family. So I was very, very close with them and their kids. And my whole family, you know, we were close with them. So a lot of times I would babysit their kids. When they wanted to go do something with my family or my parents, or whenever they would want to go, like, on a date night or something like that, I would always babysit the kids. I mean, there was times during the summertime that I would spend like a week or two, the whole, week or 2 weeks with them. They're just hanging out at their house. So flash forward to, I think I had just graduated. I was 18 years old, and I remember they called, the mom, CC, had called and said, "Hey, would you be interested in babysitting the kids on Friday night so me and John can go out to eat?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine. Just let me know." So come Thursday, nobody had called me. So I figured, oh, well, they're not going to go, or the kids are going to go somewhere else. So I really didn't think too much about it. And I made plans to go and hang out with my friends. I had went to dinner and hung out with some of my friends and spent the night at their house. Well, the next day, Saturday, my dad had called me and said, "I need to tell you something very serious." And I said, "Okay, what is it?" And my dad said, "CC was murdered last night. John murdered CC." And it was like, I think when you're young and you haven't had anything traumatic like that happen to you, your mind can't really process it, And I just remember being on the phone and being like, "What?" I was like, it was like I couldn't comprehend it, To this day, it was like one of those it's like the craziest phone call I've ever gotten, I believe, And so my dad was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And so I had hung up the phone, and I was there with my friends, and they were like, what's going on? And I told them, that my friend's mom had been murdered by her husband. I found out that the kids were in the neighborhood. Like, they had spent the night with some other kids, so they were there in the neighborhood when this all went down. I think just like a few houses actually down the street, and it just seemed so much like a movie, And the brutality of the murder is what is still always shocking to me because he slaughtered her, pretty much. He stabbed her so many times. It was like one of those murders of passion or whatever they call them. I don't know the exact count of how many stabs there was. I heard that there was a lot. And then I had also heard that he pretty much slit her throat. They said that there was blood from one end of the house to the other house. It was very, very brutal. It was, by what I understand, she put up a really good fight, but she just could not, she couldn't make it. It was too much damage to her body. So he's arrested, gets sentenced to jail. I don't think he'll ever get out. I think he got life. There have been times when I thought to myself, like, what would have happened if I did go to babysit the kids that night? Like, if I did spend the night there, would that have happened? Could maybe I not be here now? There's so many things that your mind starts to think, and I think that we're always like one step away from something really bad happening to us, and I always think, like, was that my step? Could I have lost my life that night? Could the kids have lost their lives? I might not be sitting here to tell you guys or be here on my YouTube channel. You never know what's going to happen when circumstances become chaotic and things happen and people react in crazy ways, And it was like everything kind of went silent, We really didn't talk about it anymore. The kids actually went to live with their family in West Virginia. I didn't have a means of communication with the kids for years and years and years. I've recently become friends with them on social media. And it was so sad to see like how much I have missed of their lives, of them growing up, getting married, having kids, getting engaged. It was sad because you were spent so much time with these kids and you watched them grow up, and then to see that you missed this huge part of their lives. And then you'll also think like, man, like she missed so much of their life, She missed watching them graduate. She missed watching them walk down the aisle, Which, if you believe in the afterlife, we believe that the spirits are there and they can see things and they know what's going on. But, she couldn't physically be there with them to see all these things. So, it's just sad. And I just sometimes just will be standing around and I will just think of her, I don't know if that's her spirit, around me, and that causes me to think of her. I don't know why I do, but she will just randomly come, to my thoughts. And I just hate that her life was taken away from her, that she was taken away from her kids. John was always this person who would really lose his cool, like, very quickly. Like, he would snap in an instant, like, he would, like, lose it almost, I remember being at their house many times, and he, like, scared the shit out of me, he, like, literally would snap, and he would, like, lose his cool and be slamming stuff around, and, I mean, it was scary sometimes, but I just hate that they lost their mother. But I thought the story, not to open any wounds for them, but I thought that this was something to share, because if you're living in a situation with somebody that is abusive, please get out before it is too late. That's something that I have always, and we don't always understand the reasons why people stay with people that are abusive, but to see it firsthand and to see what happens whenever you don't get out of an abusive situation, it was the ultimate thing that could happen. It cost her life, I don't know all the details of what went on in the house. I've seen how he acted. So I'm sure if he did those things when we were around, that it was probably much worse when the doors were closed, you know? And I just wish she would have been able to get out of that situation before what happened. I will leave some phone numbers and some resources in the description box of this video. If you are in a situation where you are being abused domestically, any kind of way, please reach out for help. You never know how things are going to go. So please take that step and reach out to get help. Thank you guys for tuning in to this video. I know it's kind of like one of those crazy things, but it was something that's been really on my mind a lot, and I feel like I needed to share it here on my channel. I mean, it's a well-known thing. I mean, it was in the news at the time, so I feel like it's not something like, oh, I shouldn't have talked about, you know. I mean, it was a well-known story, but it affected me personally, and it affected my friends personally, you know, and I just felt like I've seen things when domestic abuse is ignored and what happens. So I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys.